Hi everyone, Hazan Rosner here again with this week's Parsha lesson. And as we know, last week we spoke about Akedat Yitzchak, and that there is a grand pause in this story of the binding of Isaac between the two callings of Abraham's name. God calls Abraham, Abraham. What I did not tell you is why. And for this, we owe the Masoretes big time. And more on this in a moment. For 2,000 years, our sacred texts were passed down one generation to the next by oral tradition. There was no printing press, parchments and scrolls were in limited supply. But as the Jewish people really spread out across the world, there was a pressing need to preserve in an unambiguous way the true meaning of the books of the Bible. 1,000 years ago, the Masoretes, the preservers of the oral tradition, created a surefire grammar system, attaching what we now call trope signs to each word. Abraham, Abraham, is separated by a pasik, a vertical line, which tells us to stop briefly. This week's Parsha, Chayei Sarah, has a superb example of this punctuation system. I'm sure you all know the famous story of Abraham tasking his servant Eliezer with finding a wife for his son Isaac. And in the text, we go to the text and we find the famous line, Vayomar, Eved Avraham Anochi. Now this text is a very, very important one because where you stop will change the meaning of the text. And there are actually three different ways that one can read it. Vayomar, Eved Avraham Anochi. The correct way of reading this passage means, and he said, Vayomar, Eved Avraham Anochi. I am a servant of Abraham. Eliezer is introducing himself to Rebekah, the beautiful Rebekah, who then gives the camels water and him water, and he knew right away that that was the moment that we found a wife for Isaac. But if you look at the text and read it a different way and pause in a different spot, you can come up with a different meaning. Vayomer Eved, Avraham Anochi. If you pause after the word Eved, it changes the meaning of the passage. And the servant said, I am Abraham. Or you can read it this way, Vayomer Eved Avraham Anochi, pausing after Abraham. And a servant of Abraham said, I'm here. Well, who cares, right? The true meaning, of course, is Vayomar Eved Avraham Anochi. And this is the oral tradition that we want to keep and preserve. And because we have a strong etnach underneath the word Vayomar, we are instructed to make a very, very deep pause at that point in the sentence. So there you have it. We owe them great thanks for putting this grammar system together. As the Jews spread out across the world, they at least had a grammar system to go with the words to give an unambiguous meaning to the books of the Bible. See you next time.